Hello again. So today we're going to go over a quick little step that'll help with a lot of different quilts. We're going to start doing triangles. So triangles you can use for a whole ton of different things. Our next quilt, full quilt that I think we're going to do from start to finish is going to be Jacob's Ladder. But in the meantime, I have a whole pile of scraps of triangles that I'm going to do pinwheels. Pinwheels are nothing but triangles. But we're going to start by learning how to even cut our triangles. So let's not jump ahead like I'm trying to do already. Find the right ruler that I need. Because I thought I was ready and I wasn't. So the easiest way to do triangle is start out like we do with our strips. Line our things up. We're going to do 4-inch squares to start with. We're going to start with a 4-inch square. So we're going to line it up here. Here. Oops. This is for the next project. And line it up here. Alright, so now we have our nice little strip. We're not going to fold it or anything. We're going to kind of check. There's a little seam, the selvage edge right here. So we're going to make sure that's cut off a little bit. Nice, neat, straight line. And then we're going to go ahead and cut our squares. And they're going to be 4-inch square. So we go 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th side. Voila, a square. Go down here. And another one. And see, the fold was right there. So we don't have hardly any extras. Alright, so the easiest way for me personally to do this is what I'm about to show you. However, I've seen it in magazines and books demonstrated 2 different ways on how to do triangles. One of the ways is to take your sewing machine, take 2 pieces. Oops. See if I can get my pieces to hold together here. Take 2 pieces, run a seam 1/4 inch on this side all the way up, 1/4 inch on this side all the way up, cut it down the middle after you're done sewing. To me, that sounds like a lot of phony baloney extra work, because my squares are already stacked up here, so I can just slice them as they go. Another thing I've seen is they'll just have you make a square, go down dead center, cut it off the end. To me, that's a lot of waste. So what I do is I make my little stacks of triangles, or little stacks of squares, line it up corner to corner. Triangles, magic, it's great. And then come over here, do the same way. 16 triangles, very few cuts, very few extra taking it apart, sewing it, cutting it. It's already there. Simple, simple, simple. All right, so now that we got our triangles, I'm going to try to get together a simple pinwheel. They're very large triangles. Let me show you here. Much larger triangles. These came out of a scrap bag that I found at one of my favorite thrift stores. Let's see. 7 inches. So this is going to be some big blocks when we're done. But let's go over here and see what we can do. Okay, so for the pinwheel, typically you're going to use 4 and 4. But because I'm going to be complicated and make my life not easy, I'm going to take one of these and put into my next set. So, and then I need to take one of my other ones and bring it over here. But that's okay. We're going to skip that for a sec. And then we line up our edges to edges here. These are not cut straight at all, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. Then lo and behold, we're back to square. All right, a few more of these and we'll do our first pinwheel. Okay, now that we have them all nice and ironed out, pinwheel is very simple. I say that, and now I'm not going to be able to do it because, okay. So, literally, it is a wheel. There we go. That way, and that way. Okay? So what we're going to do first, we're going to throw these over on top of each other like so. Hope that they come out, considering how badly they were cut. It's the only downside of using random scraps that you find at the thrift store is not everybody knows how to cut very well, or they haven't had the tools. So for this, I'm going to use my pins. Make sure all my seams are nice and lined up. Because if nothing else, I can fudge on the seams there, but corners are important. And we're almost halfway there. If you're wondering why one color is different than the rest, it's because I'm going to attempt something and we're going to see if it turns out later or not. So now I'm going to go iron these two pieces so I can put them together and we'll have our block done. Okay, So if you haven't noticed, I always lay my pieces out so I have a visual of what I'm doing. There's a good reason for that, because oftentimes I get lost in all my pieces and end up with some turned this way or this way, and it ends up very messy. So I have a visual as I put them together because it helps. So here we're going to try very hard to put our 2 points together. Stick a little pin in there. Try to make sure these are leveled up as much as we possibly can on the ends, so it doesn't shift. Like I said, sometimes with cotton you got that little give, so it makes it all nice and easy. Then run your quarter. What started out as triangles is now a nice, neat little square. And if you'll notice, there's a little, about 1/4 of an inch off right here. That's about as far off as I like to get. But like I said, because these were not cut the straightest or the best, they're not going to come out perfectly. So my next biggest problem is trying to make everything as square as possible. So as I finished all the rest of these blocks, we're going to see how well that square business turns out, and then maybe a little jig jag just because thrift store fabric that was pre-cut. So, you know, you get what you get. But now we've got triangles to a square and you've learned how to do your first pinwheel. Stay tuned for Jacob's Ladder coming up next.